Hi everyone, it's Bitcoin from the Big Jabowski. This round I'm fighting Mon Ra-El in the finals, and Mon Ra-El beat the other guy with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, so does not actually have a Galactic Legend himself, so well done to him. Has a really good lifetime score from the guild Croatia. Yeah, for the rest, he has sort of the roster that you would expect from someone around his GP, I suppose. He has already relicked up much of his resistance, not quite sure if it's everyone actually, but I think so. So he's in the process of getting Rey. No, he's still missing a bunch of characters it seems. So he's in the process, but has already heavily invested in these. So like I said many times before, this really hurts your matchmaking and is just such a bad idea. And that is catching up to him here now. So obviously has a lot of relics invested in a lot of generic characters too, like Relic 7 Padme. His speeds are manageable for me, not particularly fast. Darth Revan as a fastest character. And Rey Scavenger over here at around 270. My character in this position, when you sort for speed, has about 280 or something like that, I believe. So it's a very doable matchup for me. So I'll show you what I did and what he did. So he has already attacked actually. And you'll see my friend Supreme Leader Kylo Ren still standing here. Now, in all of my previous rounds in 3v3, I did not set him on defense. And there's a good reason for that. Part of the reason is that I felt like it's in some way a bit unfair to set him on defense towards people who don't have a Galactic Legend. On the other hand, there's the aspect that generally seen he's not that amazing on defense compared to Rey. And then there is the aspect that he's able to solo a lot of teams on offense, so get you much more value over there. But in this case, I've set the Supreme Leader Kylo Ren team that I believe cannot be beaten unless you have a Galactic Legend yourself. And I think even by a standard Rey without the ultimate, I don't think it can be beaten either. So the team is this one here, Supreme Leader Kylo Ren with Wat and Malak. A substitute for Wat could be Geobrute Alpha. And the issue is that no matter how you go in on this, if you use General Skywalker, you will start by getting stunned. You will get your clones taken out, and by the time you stand up, you cannot do any AoEs because you will get feared, and then you instantly die. If you stick to basics, then you have to exclusively focus on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and before you would be able to get him down, Malak would have already drained you out, as by that time his drain cooldown is pretty close. So General Skywalker doesn't work, I think. If you try to do some kind of JKR mix where you focus on one specific character, it doesn't work either. And there's loads of other compositions that you could think about that you could go over, but I just think it cannot be one shot. There might be options for multi-shotting it, just like there are for Rey ultimately, where you just, in this case, he picked off Wat first, no idea what he used for that, or if that was even his intention, but it was a result of the fight for sure. But I just don't see a situation in which you can one-shot this team or the one where Geobrute Alpha is here, or actually I'm pretty sure many other characters. It just does not work out. Also because Wat here puts the taunting tech on Malak, which makes sure that Malak cleanses himself. So it's not like you can really put a hold on it. If you bring Thrawn to fracture either of them, that only holds for a little bit. And then after that you're just getting hit super hard by either of those guys. So not a whole lot that you can do there to get through it. Now he did one-shot this team here, took 2 attempts up against GAC. And then in the other zone he one-shot most of the teams except for the Grievous team, which was a bit of a surprise for me because usually people don't really struggle against it. But in this case he did. Now another reason why I put Supreme Leader Kylo Ren here is not really about this match. Because if people next week look at my 2 weeks of Grand Arena history, they'll see that every single match I would have kept Supreme Leader Kylo Ren for offense, and they will automatically assume that I will continue to do that. And that sort of narrative is what I'm trying to break here. I want to have opponents that see in my history that actually in my last match I set him on defense, and now they'll start hesitating what I will be doing. Because like I've said many times in the past, if you always do the exact same thing, and so far my weeks have been pretty similar, then people will plan for that and set the perfect counter strategy. And just by changing it up even once, and I haven't done exactly the same for the past weeks, but it's been fairly similar, but by even changing it once, I sort of create the narrative there that it's not as reliable as they would like to think, and they can just perfectly prepare for one scenario. So sort of looking at your Grand Arena history that way is something I think that a lot of people don't do or don't think about, but there's really a lot of value in doing that and not showing certain counters at times. There have been times in the past where I did not use a counter in Grand Arena just because I didn't want opponents from a next week, for example, to know that I was able to do it or that I like to do it. And even if that cost me a few banners by using an inferior counter, I've been okay with that. Now to quickly show you what he has done, First Order, Vader, this team here is pretty standard one as well, where people just use a relic resistance, and standard. So lots of standard stuff. He kept a lot for offense. Then over here is Grievous, Night Sisters, and Stronger Night Sisters. So that's pretty much his plan. And I've gone ahead and done a little preparation to get through that. There's a possibility that he would have a stronger team in the back. Maybe one. I'm not quite sure what to expect there. But since he wasn't able to break this one, he probably did the same as against the previous opponent, which did have Supreme Leader Kylo in, and thought he could get through here as well, but people just haven't really fought this team before. So that's what he has. This is what I have. I now have my Darth Revan on offense with potentially HK as a third. I have my General Skywalker for offense and still a lot of other teams. This is my plan going into it, where I think this stuff makes sense for the top zone. Really no surprises there because they're all pretty standard teams. I guess this one I just have a lot of tenacity to make sure they don't land any dots. So they don't get healed, I dispel a lot and I pick off the other two. I think I've done this before in one of the other videos. And then over here, I'll probably put in Thrawn here instead of Scion. Go against them. I'm just not going to reorganize it all the time. You get the idea. JKR over here and Padme over there. And that leaves me with Darth Revan, General Skywalker, Geos, and then something with Nest for the back. So I can potentially shift a lot of these stronger teams to this zone as well, depending on how strong or weak that back zone is. So that's basically my plan. We also have a territory war going on in a moment, so I'll be on and off a little bit and sort of try to gradually get through this. So let's get started with the first battle. First one I'd like to take out is the Night Sister team here. Now I'll be using my Padme. I don't need to bring General Kenobi necessarily, but I think I think that Ahsoka is more useful over there against the Vader team that I showed earlier. GK doesn't really add anything over there, and here I can make sure that he nicely tanks some of the hits that come in from this relatively strong team. So that's the plan and the rationale over there. Doesn't really matter too much what I do here until Padme manages to get that turn, because she got that early stun on her. There we go. Asajj is already dispelled, so that makes my life a bunch easier. This is actually kind of nice. I could already immediately take out Oldaka here. That's a nice free kill for me. Now Padme's basic cannot be evaded, so the plan was here to, I guess, use that one, even though it doesn't strip the foresight. That counter there does. And there we go. That's going to be 52, as Padme does. Next one then, this was going to be JKR. I'll use my Traya over here first. Did it last time as well. Just in case that doesn't work out, I still have other teams. I can send JKR over there and then do something weaker against the Night Sister team to really make sure I save everything for the back, because I would like to get a full clear no matter how it plays out. So I'll just have to freshen up my memory on how exactly this was played. Start with a fracture on Grievous. Which immediately triggers them. I isolate B2. That also put a nice ability block on there by triggering the speed down that Thrawn put on there, so that's perfect. Now landing this ability block is very important, and I did. And then I can start working down B1. So now I can land a stun on Grievous with this basic. My Thrawn is unfortunately hurting. I do hope that he manages to survive. Lowering the stacks here helps for sure. I should be able to beat Grievous here still. As long as I swap with Traya. Because that would allow me to survive a little bit longer. Let me just do that. Just so I can get that basic in with Thrawn. Or another fracture, that works too. And now all I need from Nihilus is one more turn. I don't really need to use the Isolate again. Though I could actually do it here and give it to Thrawn to reduce his cooldowns. To make sure that I can get some moves back a little bit quicker. Let's ability block him to reduce some... Nope, that didn't land. Alright. And now I just want to try to focus down B1 over here as quickly as possible. And hopefully ensure that my... I've never actually done a fracture on B1. Does it do the multiple hits? Yes, it does. Okay, very nice. I thought so. It's just a situation you never really get in. Like, when do you actually fracture a B1? That's pretty funny. Let's reduce some cooldowns again here. Try to get some turn meter swaps in. I should have enough time here to get my stuff back. Stuff being protection, obviously. Let's go for Traya in this case. And now I can just slowly whittle B2 down. The ability blocks will probably be necessary to try to preserve my protection. So I'll probably end up killing him early again. It's pretty difficult to try to get all of that protection back, but definitely worth a try if you can afford to. Just Thrawn himself, really, who needs little protection boost here, and that's an extra banner for me. She's almost full. It's not enough. I think it did actually end up counting there. Okay, nice. That's almost the front zone done. Pretty nice to have the luxury to just JKR this one as well. But I just have so much left for offense. I could also do something with First Order and then just let Kylo Ren AoE down the Acolytes. That's another option, but I'd rather just save them for something else, I think. Because they do have substantially more relics than this team. Put in Jolie. I don't really need Jolie here, but I might as well just save the other Jedi for Bastilla. We focus on... Might as well focus on Acolyte first, because she's squishier. Wow, that was some epic delay right there. Do the AoE and the tenacity up. That's the second kill, and then we get the third kill, or not. Let's get it now. Reduce her turn meter. And there we go. Okay, let's see what he has in the back. I'm pretty curious if he tried to surprise me with something sneaky over there. It looks that way. Nice. So he's got two relatively strong teams. This one shouldn't really be an issue. I can just use my... So I guess he was hoping to draw at my Padme, so I wouldn't have Padme as an option over here. And maybe he was counting on me going a bit heavier on defense with different teams that he would all still be able to take out, rather than one very strong team and then some good supporting cast, so to speak. So I think I caught him off guard a little bit there. But that works out nicely for me. So with that one done, let's take a look. Might as well just quickly put it in the sheet here. And see what I want to do. So that's this part done. Do still have Scion, but don't really think I'll be using him. Okay, does it change anything about my plan? Darth Revan is also still here. I guess I'll just use General Skywalker over here. We both have the same second and third characters, but General Skywalker is obviously superior. The nest is a bit tricky. So what might make sense is going this way. And then I don't really want to do Geos against First Order. We have bad experience with that, if you remember. So I might CLS that one. My spy just doesn't really cut it against Kylo Ren. I could time it in such a way that it does, but this is just a fair bit easier, I think. Then Darth Revan probably could do it over here. Got some good AoEs. It's not going to be pretty on banners, but it will work. He's put, like, the way he has divided his teams in the back here, I think is substantially better than the stuff in the front. So in that regard, he's done a really nice job, I think. Like pairing these up, a very durable squad, an annoying squad, and this one that you can't just take out with pretty much just about anything that you would like to. So that's pretty good. I can respect that one. So I'll have to see what exactly I want to do. I could use my Finn team over there potentially, though it doesn't really have the dispels as much. I'll have to see what exactly I want to do. Just going to give it a bit more thought there. But Geo should be fine over here. Maybe the First Order can be moved, because this is kind of overkill. Yeah, that's what I might end up doing. Either way, let's get started with the strongest team, and then just work my way down the list. So he definitely went pretty heavy on defense. I just think he wasn't expecting me to do what I did. Feels like I'm missing a character here. Did I just scroll past it? There is Rex. And 5s. Alright, another option here would be to use my Darth Revan, just because I can start by fearing right out the gate. But this is just so much more reliable. Definitely want to do this. Even if I end up supercharging Rex here, he cannot possibly escape my cooldown reductions from General Skywalker, so it doesn't really matter what he does. And that's him gone. Don't think they'll ever get through him here. Doesn't look like it. Which is nice for me, because that means I'm able to preserve my protection banners on the others. And there she goes. All right. Alright, next fight then. My opponent might be hoping that I've forgotten about Grand Arena or something, because I had to do some territory war stuff there. So far match is looking pretty good. I guess I'll use Geos over here. Just going to quickly get this one done. Who makes sense here? I think Soldier is probably nice for the turn meter generation. The dispel does not help me that much, because I'll be focusing down Bosk first anyway, so I think I just want more turns. Yeah, that probably makes most sense. Poggle's ability block is okay too, but generally he's also the weakest, and he doesn't really get to ability block anyone other than Bosk, so don't really see the use there. His cleanse is nice though. Might actually end up bringing him for that. I could probably use it with all of their debuffs flying around. Now it's not going to be an easy matchup because my Geos are really not that strong. So let's see how that one goes. Get rid of that offense up. Let's give him an expose. Or not. They do have really good tenacity, obviously. Also the turn meter removal from my brute. From Poggle, that is. Wow, don't know why I messed that one up. The turn meter removal from Poggle is really nice as well, to make sure that they don't really get to do a whole lot. Okay, nice. Survived the first execute. That was a pretty important one. And also kept the ability block on there. Now I'd like to ability block Boba anytime now. Right now would be great. Yes, thanks. Get him to... Yeah, the extra tenacity that they have certainly helps them against the ability blocks. I suppose I could have considered that part as well. Okay, they've got the... Ooh, this one should be nice. Poke him out. Sweet. Yeah, the Brute's really good at that part. Okay, I could have saved that until Dengar goes back into stealth, but I think using it right now probably makes more sense. So let's try and land... Nope, that's not happening. It's certainly not going to be full banners, but that's okay. I wasn't really expecting that. It's just not exactly their specialty. I could have stalled a little bit there on Dengar, I suppose, but I'd rather just finish it up. Alright, that one down. Then next up, let's pick the Newt team, I think, or probably Dooku actually. Now there's also still the feat with the two Hoth dudes. Personally, I don't see anything on the board where I could reliably pull that off. I can try to do some stuff with Nest. Wouldn't want to do it over here though. Also wouldn't want to do it here with Finn potentially stunning me. I don't know how much potency he has actually. I should maybe check that. 50%. Let me just check the lead. Yeah, okay, they got 60% potency boost. That is not happening. And Nest up against First Order is not great either because of the 2-turn stun that cannot be resisted. Then over here, I guess it could be an option, but the downside is that Nest will not be able to have anyone alongside of her to sort of help her to stay alive. So I could see myself getting stuck here. Don't really want to risk that. So probably no feat for me. I don't see Nest getting through these either, just because it's so tanky, and by the time I out damage Barris, it's probably already long over. So that feat's not happening for me. I don't know if there's only one round for it. That I didn't exactly check. Let me just scroll through. I didn't make a loadout for this one. Alright, then let's just take the extra step here. Now the nice part, I've got some good things on my kit here. They're going to be countering quite a lot from under their stealth. Sorry, I'm saying this backwards. They are going to be countering, but if I am stealthed, they can't do that. So that's why the smoke screen comes in handy here. I'm already going to put the healing immunity on Nest here to get a first big hit in, and hopefully the stun. There it is. So she's controlled. I can just purely focus on Dooku here and attack him for my stealth, and he is already dazed now as well, so this will make it really easy. Get this one back. Now Django misses that one. I can nicely control him and pick him off very quickly as well. want to try to get another big hit in on Nest, even though she has a little extra protection added there. The stun is useful as well. There he goes. It's one of my favorite things when characters just randomly fall over because of some debuff. Okay, let's get a basic in here. Like to make a little bit of progress where possible. Still have my Illuminated Destiny up at some point that I should use. Get the stun. Or not. Get it now, hopefully, because then I can preserve my banners. Although Rey isn't quite there. That's not too great. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to need another Illuminated Destiny here, so let's stall for a little bit and try to get that. I have time anyway, so I'll just try to be real quick about this one. Keep using specials to reduce that cooldown. And just make sure Nest never really takes a turn until I want her to. There we go, just in time. Try to get the stun. Nope. Just want a basic for this one. I could really use a stun here. Let's call in R2. Perfect. So that's an easy one to forget, the fact that you can also just directly call in R2. It's certainly no rocket science, but people are so used to calling BB-8 that you forget, especially in 3v3, that you have the nice option to just try to get that stun instead. So that worked out well for me here. Let's try and get Rey's attack back. Right now, this should do it. I can smoke screen here, and there we go. All right. So, let me think here. What do I want to do against GK? Because it is still a very durable squad. What did I actually end up deciding on? I don't remember. Darth Revan, that was it. Yeah, the defense penetration is really good. HK would do a lot of damage to him as well. So that's probably going to be my next one. It's going to be ugly on banners, but that's quite alright. And HK, gotta get that damage boost as well. Now since GK is constantly taunting and he's in the lead, I'll be able to keep the others under control pretty nicely, hopefully. I wonder if they're actually going to end up taking any turns here. Ability block him so that he cannot cleanse anything. And now it's probably a matter of waiting until... let's try and get a shock on him. Waiting until I get the big special from HK back. Not sure if anything else is going to kill him. Maybe, yeah, this is already good enough actually. Nice. Let's get her out of here. Wow, look at my HK there. So that's one banner. No, it actually counted. I'm pretty surprised there. Shouldn't be. Okay, Newt left then. And these teams, let's do Bastilla over here next. There we go. Ezra works nicely. All of them have dispels. Old Ben doesn't really add too much over here. I'd much rather have the damage, the extra assist call. Ezra, it feels like such a useless character. Sorry, in let's see, call Bastilla here for the ability block. That did not happen. Let's trigger Zalbar. Dispel that. Yeah, so I was going to say Ezra. Yeah, he feels like such a useless character in 5v5, but in 3v3 I really like him. Very handy to bring along with the Jedi. They're going to burn through his bonus protection probably though, because I didn't land that early ability block. So that's pretty unfortunate. Let's see though. Okay, good. Nice crit there. Definitely want to take him out because I think they're going to keep focusing Ezra. And maybe this is going to be a stun. That would be very helpful. Perfect. Okay, then I should be able to get through here with all of my banners still in place. Okay, nice. I feel like this team was really made for this kind of counter. Because quite a lot of people tend to set a team like this on defense if they have that Zeta on Vader. First order then. Alright, I still have my first order as well. Let's just take all of these off. It's just this one left then. Which is giving me some question marks. I do think I'll stick with first order over here. This one's gone as well. Did I already pick off? No, I didn't. Don't even know. I can't even remember 10 seconds past the fight, it seems. So there's still 2 teams that I have to take out then. Sorry, 3. CLS probably does make most sense over here. Yeah, let's just focus on this front zone first. I can always piece something to get her back there. I could leave out one first order character, for example. Could do something with tanks and Wampa. I just have to be mindful of Droidica. I need some kind of good control piece for that one. Scion might be an option there. If I can put some pain on Droidica, then he's forced to focus on my Scion. That could work out really nicely. So that could be a good idea. I'm not sure why I'm going into Wampa's interface here. Let me go. I didn't misclick the team, right? I ask myself every single time now. We want to start by stunning Kylo Ren so that he doesn't get his retribution and doesn't start messing around with me. Okay, get that early control in. Unfortunately, no buff immunity there. And he is nearly gone. This should do it. There we go. Wow, that was absolutely no damage. Pretty odd one. And I've got my protection back. There we go. So, anything else left to do? Finn here. Who can I leave out that could help me somewhere else? I don't really feel like Kylo adds a whole lot against the new team, but he also isn't too bad. If I can keep stunning and recovering protection, I could probably do something with him, Nest, and whatever. Just kind of throw 3 characters together. Will probably work out, so I'll do that. Because Scion, Nest, and Kylo Ren could be a fun little mix there. That's definitely going to completely stomp them. Alright, pass some turn meter over to him. I don't want him taunting or doing his thing. Same with Finn. And I'm just going to pick off Poe here. If I'm able to, that is. Probably still going to, yeah, there he goes. So by passing this one over to Executioner, if I get this hit in here, then I already get a good turn meter boost. Let's keep him under control. Should have probably done the other special there with him. That's actually what I wanted to do. But this works. pass it to him so that everyone nicely remains maxed. I find it pretty fascinating how both First Order and Resistance are so capable of taking each other out without one necessarily overpowering the other super hard. I guess in a straight up Rey Jedi training versus Kylo, Rey Jedi training does win, but so in that regard maybe Rey's a little stronger. But then with the ultimate versions they come back around nicely. The ultimate, the Galactic Legend versions. What's he done? Malevolence, no surprises there, same as always. So over here we're going to do a weird team then. No lead, I guess. I am pretty tempted to try and nest with the Hoth guys. Let me just quickly check how long that feed lasts, because if I can still do it next week, there's absolutely no point. No, it's just now. Okay, so do I potentially want to sacrifice some banners? I might as well try, right? What could they do to me? Let's see. Newt is going to extort me and make the rest of his team really fast. But the max health damage is a bit of a concern if they start stunning me. As long as I can keep countering, I'm okay. Droideka doesn't really build up any stacks. There's no healing on the team. I'm definitely tempted to try it out, but I don't really know what to expect. Eventually I would burn through Magna Guard. There's not a whole lot of buffs for me to dispel, so I wouldn't really build up too much there. The cleanse here is useful for him. The stun, let me just see. I'm just going to check Newt lead again. Potency is low here, but they get potency, I believe, if I cleanse the extortion. It's only, okay, it's for each enemy with extortion, because that's not too bad. If you would just gain 15% potency, I would still resist a bit. Let's give it a shot for science, I suppose. I've already won the match anyway. I might as well try. The downside is that if I fail, then I can't do the feat anymore either, even though I'm going to be cleaning it up. So that would be pretty unfortunate, but it is what it is. Don't know why I'm scrolling to the bottom here. Just need to be at Rebels. Not sure what to expect if this is going to work out. That's one. Do I even, I was going to say, do I even have these unlocked? I should for the old territory battle, but wasn't quite sure. The part of your roster you never really look at. Alright, let's see what this does. Now, initially, they're definitely going to be very fast. Okay, that's one gone. The resist coming in there. That's the first skill on Newt already. That's actually pretty nice. Yeah, you see, Droideka is just not going to do much here. Okay, Newt is out of stealth now as well, so if he tries to hit me at any point, then I should be able to pick him off. Let's just try and do it now. Just one more hit. Just hope to pick him off early, and then I can get rid of the extortion and pretty much get rid of him too. There we go. Okay, this is looking promising so far. I'll pay off one extortion. And from here on out, it should be pretty straightforward. So this worked better than expected, I guess. Yeah, the nice dodges. I don't need to worry about Magna here. Magna will take care of himself. I just have to try to pick off Droideka as soon as possible. Even though there's a 0% chance for Droideka to kill me, he is still the bigger threat. There we go. Also good to just figure out that this counter works really nicely in general. I think you should be able to take on a significantly stronger Droideka, mostly because you take so few turns that Droideka never really builds up any stacks. So the damage should always be substantially lower than anywhere near your max health, and all you need to do then is counter and heal up. And before Droideka even gets you under max health, you've already spent a lot of time countering and building up health steal, so that should be quite alright. Not a whole lot of people who are fortunate enough to be able to claim that feat. I'm just doing it now because otherwise I'm certain that I will forget. Should also actually do my fleet battles, I just noticed. Good reminder there as well. Let's do this one now. 350k. Alright. And then I have to get back to territory wars. We're probably through some zones. Put these in and then blow as a backup. Do I want to bring Ahsoka? I so rarely need her. Let's just put her in. Yeah. It's probably overkill, but sometimes I try to play it a little safer. Would be pretty lame to lose a lot of ships now in the end, because I fell a little short. So you always want to hit Sunfac first here if you use this lineup, because Sunfac is the only one that doesn't max turn meter, so these guys don't start putting down vulture droids, and then you can just immediately pick off this vulture droid with the group attack. Then you don't want to put the buff immunity on Sunfac because he is the squishier tank, so it's just much nicer to focus him out first. Hyena takes forever, it's incredibly boring. That's actually pretty nice for him. You also don't want to dispel the taunt necessarily, you can just do it here if you want. So usually my Y-Wing is faster than Sunfac and the stun has to go here. In this case it didn't, so that works out very nicely for him because it mitigates a lot of damage. And this is the kind of scenario where I like to keep Ahsoka in the back there, just to make sure that if I lose out on a lot of damage early on, I could risk the scenario where I don't kill them off fast enough. And then I definitely need that extra firepower in the end from Ahsoka to get through nicely and not lose too many ships. So I'll use this one here and now because they will probably burn through my Y-Wing. That's usually how it goes if Sunfac isn't dead yet, but looks like I still get a chance here. Always want to cleanse this one because of the crit immunity, as usually the group attack comes in here one way or another, no matter which reinforcement they call in. So I will actually focus on Spy here for a sec, just because I think I can get him low enough to now kill with the ultimate. Perfect. This isn't going to crit, but I'll still do it. Just for the little extra damage. Should be close enough to finish it off if I get to call in Ahsoka before he does something. Usually comes down to this, so like this is why I sometimes don't bring Ahsoka and sometimes I do. I made good progress now. This move here can just finish him off. It's a lot better than the damage from Ahsoka, even though I do have offense down on a few. I have the offense up on Anakin, so that's more than enough to kill him. It's still 66 banners without any ship ever really being at risk. So that works for me. And that's my match, 2468. Not the prettiest score, but I'll take it. It's a very good one. And yeah, this did not work out for him. Worked out nicely for me. And hopefully that's going to throw off some opponents in the next weeks who aren't sure what I'm going to be doing with my Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. This could even be an option to set against people with Rey where I wouldn't be certain if I can get through their team. I don't really see how, because I do have the health modding on Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, so I should be able to just beat just about anyone. But it could be a fun way to throw them off where they're confident that they'll just be able to get through me, and it turns out that they're not. I do prefer the full clears though, so I'll see what I end up doing there. Anyways, I hope you had a good round and that you managed to pull off a win as well in all 3 of your matches. Good luck in the next weeks. I'm looking forward to them personally. I've been having a good time so far in 3v3. And I hope to see you all soon for that next week.